Okay, let's do a matrix. What we've got is we've got some data about movies, and these are award-winning films. And we want to create a matrix where we have a count of the award-winning movies by decade that it was produced and the country it was produced in. And as you can see, it gravitates towards, this particular data set gravitates towards um, movies made recently, and obviously most of the awards are coming from the United States because it's an American award. So this is what we're looking for. Basically, we're rotating country and decade around a count of the movies. Okay, so let's dig in. I'm going to start by just removing what we had. So we want to start from scratch. So let's put a matrix in. So you can see how it's asking for rows, data that we're rotating around, and the columns. Okay, now the data set is doubly important for doing a matrix. You need one, all this data has to come from one set, one data set, one basically table that you create with a query. Or you could preload it into a table, but anyway. The data set looks like, I built it in Query Analyzer. We're pulling the film country, the film name, the film release date, the film year, the film month, and the film decade. Of course, the year, month, and decade are just calculated off the release date. And it's all together in one table, so that way report services can actually see how the data is related and create a matrix of the data. So let's start off by putting the decade in here, and we can put the country here, and we want to put the film name here, but we want to actually count that, so we need to go into expression and add a count of that. Okay, now we should have close to what we had before. It's close. The data is now down here because the order is different. The order is alphabetical and numerical here, so the data gravitates here because now 2000's down here and United States is here, so the data got heavily down here. So we need to change the way it's sorted. Now you would think you would click around here to do the sorting, but you don't. In this, you've got to worry about groups. Everything's grouped now. Both the columns and the rows are in these groups. So our sorting needs to happen down here on the groups. And we just need to flip it. So sorting, we're going to flip that. And while we're here, let's make the color a little more palatable. Okay, all right, so now we have pretty much what we had before. And now let's make it so that we can drill down from the decade down into the year. So let's just take the year and we just want to put it in between here, but notice it can go this way or it can go that way. But we want it to point towards its parent. So the decade is the parent of year, so we're pointing towards that and we drop it in. Okay, so now we hit preview and there we go. We've got the decades and now we can see down the details down to the year. And then we could even do, it's going to look a little messy, but we could even go from year down to month. So now we're going year, decade, year, month. So now, but the thing is, it's not collapsed. So we want to be able to, you know, drill down. We don't want it all expanded out like that. Okay, now that part's a little tricky. So what we have to do is we have to, well, to get the to get these headers in the right place is a little tricky. So what we're going to do though is say month. Let's start off with the inside and work our way out. So we'll say month. We want to click on the month. Do we want to click on it down here? And we want to say that it's hidden and that its toggle item is the parent, which is year. So now if we preview, you can see now we can drill down into the year, from year into month. So that's what we want. But you'll notice the film month is still here. It would pass, you know, maybe some people wouldn't be too picky about that, but to do it right, you really want that to disappear and hide and disappear with the month data. To do that is the part that's a little tricky. We want to insert row above but outside the group. If we do it inside the group, obviously we want it above because it's a header, but if we do it inside the group, then it will duplicate along with the details. We want it to be outside the group so that it doesn't duplicate with the details. So now we have that, and now we can get the text from here, and we can put it in here. And now normally you would go in and you would hit the Advanced tab. Well, yeah, there you go. And now we have this static piece here, and now we would hit true, and the toggle item is again film year. So now when we hit preview, now you can see that this is gone, and it should appear when we, and there it is, film month. So that now pops out when we open it up, and now we can just do the same thing for the rest of these. I don't think we need to waste time doing that. Yeah, I would think you have the gist of it now. It's do exactly what I did for film year, and then that will collapse in to decade, and you're done. Any questions? Leave them below.